Yes, we are! First day.
Actually, day zero.
Day zero, yes. Oh my gosh, stay tuned!
This area we're in right now, I don't know if Libby explained it, this is called the Central Concourse, where we'll be transitioning from either the lab and the breakout rooms downstairs on one side of the street, up and over through this concourse, and then down the other side to the other street. So this is going to be a busy, walkable area that we're going to be going through all week. As you've seen already, we're kind of being cautious with us taking up so much space because we got registration going. So registration right through here behind us. We're going to be going through 10,000 attendees and easily 3,000 or 4,000 staff and experts that are helping answer questions and engage with folks all throughout the time. Today is early registration because we do not want to be going through this line tomorrow at 7 a.m. when you want to go to the keynote. So that's why there's a big jam up of people right here right now. I'm going to take us right now down to the bread and butter of where we're supposed to be going, which is a breakout room and also a lab room, which is downstairs.
Everyone said that a bill. I need to move my
Camera in a different position.
What is this, like a rector or something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I just wanted to call out an interesting piece. As Libby mentioned, we have 3,500 partners that are here as well. Sorry, partner attendees that are here as well to learn about the partner business of Microsoft. They have a whole kind of separate area that we're not going to be going through today because it's farther away through some of the attached hotels. So this is kind of the transition floor where they would gain access to get into their meeting rooms. The primary thing for business partners and for partners of Microsoft is they want meetings. They want to talk to Microsoft executives, they want to talk to their customers, and so we made sure that we brought those meeting experiences to Microsoft Ignite so that they feel like they can get engaged and do the stuff that they're used to doing at the dedicated partner conference that we used to have. And so that's a separate area. You have to have a badge to be able to get access to it. And again, it's basically meeting rooms, there's not much to show, so I figured I wouldn't bother showing that, but that's in the attached hotels. We're going downstairs one more. I'll also call out one other thing, is there are lots of nooks and crannies like this all around. This is a badly lit one, but there's lots of nooks and crannies with natural light, so it's great for being able to have a quieter place to create content. Go and search those out, and you'll see that they are all throughout the entire venue to be able to go off and do some content creation, so you don't have to be in the middle of all the noise and everything else like that. It's one of my tips I definitely recommend, is that you find your spots. So we're going down one more. For the main one side of the floor is for labs and for breakout rooms. Partner awards is partner of the year awards, and that's actually happening inside the keynote. I think. I don't know because I'm not part of the partners. So you would have gotten an invitation? Yeah. Really cool sponsored experience by DocuSign where they're offering up any attendee with a badge can go and get a professional headshot and be able to use that in their socials, use that on their LinkedIn profile or whichever. And it's basically free for all attendees. So an example of one of the experiences that we're trying to use for folks in the space, and then also provide an extra added bonus for attendees. This one long hallway that we're in has content all throughout every single room. Principally focusing on breakouts and interactive lab experiences. Part of also being a speaker at Microsoft Ignite is you want to get used to the equipment and how things work, so we even have practice rooms that have an identical setup to what you would have on stage to be able to try out your equipment, make sure you understand all the dongles and how stuff works. And so speakers are able to actually book these just to make sure everything's working, they know how to do their demos, and everything all translates correctly to be able to go off and try them out. If you want, we can take a look, and after that, I'm just going to double check. I can poke in and show you one of the breakout rooms right over here. Just take a look inside one.
That's the speaker work. It's just jazz. It's not excellent.
You guys are rehearsing. We don't want to bother you, so just want to show them a layout.
Welcome, everybody. Our session will begin shortly. Please take your seats.
But at the front, you got a raised stage. You have what's known as a demo table at Microsoft. The demo table has a switcher on top that allows you to plug in 4 different machines. One of them is a PowerPoint machine, and then 3 for whatever you want, showing more code, showing some kind of demos, whichever you like, and then a switcher box at the top. Microphones, as you saw, the LED wall. So we actually switched from projectors to LED walls a couple of years ago. Much more high resolution, much easier to see demos and code examples and slide content on those LED walls. Different size rooms have 2 or 3 of those screens. This is a smaller one with just a single individual screen. And that particular one there happened to be a Windows Server 2025 launch event, getting ready for a Tuesday presentation right after the keynote. So that's my good friend Jeff Woolsey, who's preparing for Good Stuff.
And all breakouts are recorded, right?
Yeah, so breakouts at Microsoft Ignite, they're all recorded and live streamed. But the difference this year
Other than the pre-days.
Other than the pre-days. But the difference this year is that there aren't any cameras in the rooms. Again, it's a cost-cutting measure to be able to get more content. So we determine how much content we can share. This year it's over 300 breakout sessions, which is about 2.5 times more than the previous Ignite. The reason you determine how many breakouts you can do is the inventory of the rooms, the cost of how much it is to put together for one of those rooms, times the number of time slots that you have, works out the math to being 300 different sessions. The goal, again, is to increase that even more. Pre-pandemic, we were at a 700 to 800 breakouts before. Now we're down to 300, but that's coming up from 2019. So it's still in the learning mode and a recovery mode to get back to where you want to be as far as content's concerned. Content is king and queen at a conference because people come to learn and to get skilled. And the second thing that they do is, and some would argue it's even the first thing that they do, is get their questions answered by the experts. And that's going to be what we see potentially next based on timing. But I want to show you a lab room next, which is this one. So as I mentioned, this way here, it goes all the way down on one side as far as breakouts are concerned. In this particular setup, on the other side of the escalators is where a lot of the labs are going to be, if I'm remembering correctly. If you go to ignite.microsoft.com, you load the website as an app on your phone or you pin it to your home screen. There are interactive maps, which are awesome, so you don't get lost for where you have to go. So interactive maps are definitely in the event guide at the bottom center icon, what it is. Let's go see if I can find us a lab room. So we're down in this section right here. All dark blue color are just breakout rooms. So we actually are going to have to go up to the concourse, all the way across, down to the other side to be able to get to the lab rooms as one option to take a look at the labs. So they strongly discourage from finding the shortcut across here. Don't do it. They told me not to do it yesterday. So you have to go up and around. Don't go across the street because it is a live stream. This is your PSA, wait till everyone comes up. I don't want to lose anybody, so. Let's go, you know what, okay, I know what we're gonna do. So, I just didn't want to lose anybody since we're all here. Before we go and see a lab room, I thought I'd at least take you to the area where the keynotes are. Unfortunately, I highly doubt they're going to let me inside the keynote room, even with the special yellow badges, because some very well-known, very high-level executives that are much higher than I am are in there rehearsing. We're going to go all the way to the end and then take a right towards what's known as the Skyline Ballrooms, and I'll talk more about the keynote there and see what's up over there. So all the way to the end and then take a right. Keep on going. I'll be with all good? Okay. So, behind us right here, against this entire wall, is the width of the keynote room known as the Skyline Ballroom. As I mentioned, there's rehearsals going on. I'm going to take a quick peek in and just see. And maybe I can sneak us in to take a look, but basically seating is 6,000 people inside the area. The center stage and then 2 flanking ginormous screens as well. So no matter where you are inside that room, you'll have an amazing place to be able to go off and watch the keynote. Certain folks are going to be able to have VIP access, get right up to the front. Different MVPs, different content creators, so take advantage of that, get in line, understand where you got to get picked up so you get in there first. Before you go in there, make sure that you hydrate and you have something to eat. It's going to be a while for it to start, and it's going to be a relatively long keynote. So don't drink too much, but have something with you just in case. So that's basically the whole thing. After the first day, we actually break these rooms up into 3 rooms, and then we use them as larger breakout rooms of 1,000 and change a piece, which is kind of cool how we do that. That's the Skyline Ballroom area. So if you have a session that's extremely popular, you'll probably end up inside of one of these rooms to be able to go up and watch. I wanted to stop here as well because of what's known as the backpack and the water bottle. There's a very, very long tradition at Microsoft events where people will hang on to their backpacks and use them year after year after year as a memento and as a little badge of pride that, hey, I went to Microsoft Ignite in 2015 and they're still using that same backpack. I literally was at Walt Disney World, California, and there was a gentleman with his family wearing a Tech Ed backpack from 2012, and it still works. So it's a really good sustainable option as opposed to throwaway swag of t-shirts. These backpacks are really serious and really, really good. This one happens to be sponsored by AvePoint, which is awesome. I'm so glad we can have our sponsors go in and provide us with a great backpack, and also a very custom water bottle that is the Chicago skyline, including the little bean on there as well. And there are hydration stations throughout the event all over the place, so very, very good. If you're a regular attendee, you're going to be getting one of these. I don't know what they're doing for specifically the MVPs or the creator program. I would assume you'd be getting one of them as well, but talk to your people in your program, you'll find out. They're absolutely awesome. And I did a full review of the backpack when I took it to Fargo, North Dakota, and also to Las Vegas, checked it through luggage. It's solid, it's going to work. I would recommend it 8 out of 10. Would recommend. There's some things I would improve, but that's me because I'm a backpack snob. I've been doing backpack reviews since 2012. and people are looking for them. And it's just a freaking backpack. They love it. So anyway, hang out here. I'm going to take a quick peek inside and see if we can take a look. And I'm crossing my fingers to find out. I might get kicked out.
Wow, this looks beautiful.
Okay, so this is one of the interactive lab rooms.
Hi.
We'll be out of here in just a minute. This is one of the interactive lab rooms. They range anywhere from 64 seats up to 100 and 130, 140 seats. There are 128 lab experiences throughout the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a little bit Friday too, I think, if I remember correctly. And it's an interactive environment. So you'll have a person at the front leading, going through a lab environment. The students sitting down here will have on one screen the instructions, the second screen they're actually going through the steps of the lab to learn. And it is not a presentation with slides. It's, again, more interactive content you're going through. These are extremely popular. The feedback we got before is they need to be longer to get more depth. And so we've expanded them to 1 hour in length as opposed to the shorter 45 minutes. And there are some labs that are so popular that we do repeats of them. So there may be 129 slots. There's actually only about, I want to say, 35 to 40 unique labs that are taking place. And they span all the different subject areas that are there. So this is a pretty cool room. I'm glad that they're not using this one for a pre-day because we didn't see it. So this is the interactive lab We've got our bus drop-off area for where all the hotel shuttles are coming in. 29 different hotels from across Chicago where the attendees are staying. Run every 15 minutes for the morning until about 11 o'clock. And they start back up again around 3 or 4 o'clock for every 15 minutes to get people home or to the venue. Okay, come in just a little bit more just so we can get out of the noise section here. Okay, it's a good place to talk. So, the number one thing people were asking for from previous events was the return to a large-scale hub experience or expo hall experience. In our previous events at Microsoft Build and Microsoft Ignite in the Seattle environment, we were limited on space. This particular space in the convention center is 480,000 square feet. So we're back to a large event once again. You're going to see a central concourse the Microsoft experts areas, and you're going to see flanked by our partners on either side, as well as theater experiences, a broadcast stage, and other things. It's an active building zone right now, so please be very aware as we're moving around doing stuff. I'll see if I can at least show you a couple of the cool spots before we have to kind of wrap up and wind back out to the front. As you saw, I don't want to spend a lot of time out front because we're a traffic hazard with so many people. So instead, again, ask your questions. It's a place to be, but it's not finalized. So you'll still see lots of boxes in the aisles, carpets all taped up with protective gear and stuff like that. So bear in mind with that. But come on this way.
Really, you already know the shit I dealt with. I have trauma from that. But I'm like one of the best high-res. 10-day locked.
There's cooler views next one over. I just came over this way.
This year I'm not getting off.
This is a lot bigger than.
Oh yeah, way bigger. You could fit 4 or 5 of those in Seattle inside here alone. Okay, so let's actually cut across to the more interesting area over there by that truck, and then we'll go down the aisleway because that's by the centerpiece. This is the far edge extreme. So obviously you can see both flanked by partner areas, and then also you can see up high, straight in front of us, Theater C, Theater B. These are our alternate viewing experiences besides breakouts, where they're shorter sets of content, 15 minutes and 30 minutes. They seat around 200 and change people in each. It's just like a breakout session, but it's more intimate, and we have some of our friends from the MVP program presenting there, and also our partner program as well. So we're just going to go over to the main aisle next to what's known as the central showcase, for where you have the Microsoft Copilot and other AI experiences. So let's cut across here. Not yet. I don't know if they're being allowed. All right. Come down this way for a sec. Okay, so I want to explain the layout just for a second before we go. What you're seeing here is the central showcase area, which we're going to go to next. But then at the entrance to the showcase area, you'll have the experts. In this case, this is the industry section of the experts area, where you have individual experts from different topics that are going to be able to answer questions with attendees. Very popular. And then beyond the experts area, right where we are, you have different solutions and different experiences you can go off and see. This is one from the industry team talking about using AI and using mapping technology to help out during natural disasters and emergency situations for first responders. And they actually brought a freaking car. So very cool stuff inside that one. It's not fully set up, but that's an example of one that happens to be available as an extra experience. So we'll come down this way for some better photo shots and angles.
Right now we're at the hub, which is where a lot of the featured partners are going to do a bunch of different things. It is looking so cool. So, yeah. You want to take one of me? Yeah.
Stuff. What's the on? Sorry. Anybody behind us? Okay, aren't you people? Okay, so we're inside of. You see last guys along? In here. So, as all of us know, we're all into nice background shots and good opportunities. So the Microsoft side is obviously one of them. It's going to be very popular. On the other side is the Copilot side. So the Copilot one is also probably going to be pretty popular. This particular wall here is extremely popular with our MVP program and RD program. each individual name of current awardees of the designation are on this wall. They always come over here and point their name out and take a picture. It's very, very common for what's there. And as you can see from some other folks that are over there, the GitHub wall is also very, with OctoCat, it's also a very popular destination. They brought that all the way from GitHub Universe that took place last week, or maybe the week before, down in San Fran. I think it was the week before. So that one there is very, very popular as well. But inside this community space, there is some activations that are kind of cool. One of which is a miniature kind of content creation cove, I'm calling it. Just basically some walls and some tables and chairs. People can do impromptu vlogs or interviews or whichever if you bring your own equipment. Behind that is a miniature theater, seats about 30. You're going to see some executives up there. I do not know how they're going to do it, but Mark Rasinovich with over 700 registrants are going to show up on that one there that seats 30. So yeah, they put that one out. And I'll wait till they're done to be able to talk about the back end of what's here.
Sends up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I took a few.
So, where I'm trying to get people to, this is the back end known as the experts area for where people come and get their questions answered. There's over 89 different booths covering 8 different topics of interest for Microsoft Ignite. They're being staffed by MVPs, by RDs, by Microsoft engineering teams to get people's questions answered. See a little booth area here. There's a pod of 4 of them, and there are 2 to 3 pods per major section. And again, behind the experts area, you can see these black boxes and little rooms. Think of those as little miniature museums, little miniature artifacts of cool stuff about the use of energy, the use of carbon reclamation inside of that particular booth for how we do it with AI. I'm personally very affectionate around my infrastructure space, which is also right there. You can see some pretty freaking cool cooling racks, and there's similar experiences on both sides of these things. You got like an escape room over there. There's a AI security thing that's happening over there too. So those aren't active now. They're going to be active when the hub opens after the keynotes. One last photo opportunity here for Copilot, and then unfortunately our time is done, and we need to make our way back out again. Microsoft Copilot. 1, 2, 3.
Microsoft Copilot!
Okay, let's do one more with Microsoft Ignite. Count of 3. Microsoft Ignite. 1, 2, 3.
Microsoft Ignite!
Okay. Now with the hashtag.
Hashtag
Yeah, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hashtag MS Ignite!
And let's do it in Spanish now.
Habla español.
I'm over that.